If you're watching this video, there's a good chance you already know the answer. You don't need more information. You don't need another conversation with her. You don't need to wait and see. Somewhere inside you, the decision is already made. You just haven't admitted it to yourself yet. That's what this video is about. Not what she did, not the details, but why you are still there, still explaining, still hoping, still shrinking yourself. When part of you already knows exactly where this is going. 3 situations. If even one of them sounds like your life right now, stop waiting. It won't fix itself. She didn't cheat on you. She just stopped hiding that she could. Let's start with betrayal, but not the version most men are waiting for. Most guys are waiting for proof, a text, a photo, something they can hold up and say, there, that's it. And while they're waiting for that proof, the actual betrayal is already happening right in front of them. Here's what it looks like. She's texting someone, not a coworker making small talk, someone who wants her, and she knows it. You know it. He knows it. But because nothing happened, you say nothing. Or some guy is openly buying her things, showing up, making his intentions obvious, and she lets it continue. She doesn't shut it down. She just says he's harmless, he's just a friend. You're reading too much into it. Allowing it is a choice. Every single day she lets it continue. She is choosing to let it continue. There is no passive version of this. I knew a guy, smart, successful, not someone you'd expect to miss the signs. His girlfriend had a friend who texted her every morning. Not, hey, how are you, and paragraphs. She'd laugh it off. He's just like that. My friend told himself the same thing for 8 months. Then one day he stopped telling himself that. He said to me later, the texts weren't the problem. The problem was that she never once told him to stop. In 8 months, not once, that's it. That's the whole thing. When a woman is genuinely committed to you, she kills those situations before they start. She doesn't need a rule. She doesn't need to be asked. She just does it because she doesn't want you to feel that way. When she stops doing that, when she starts needing you to just trust her in situations that clearly don't deserve trust, the relationship has already shifted. And going to her and saying, if you keep doing this, I'll leave achieves nothing. You're negotiating your own dignity at that point. That conversation means you've already lost the frame. The only move left is a real one, not a threat, a decision. The moment she made you feel crazy for being right. This one is more dangerous than the first because it doesn't feel like betrayal. It feels like your fault. You noticed something. Maybe her energy shifted. Maybe she started being vague about where she was going. Maybe she got defensive about something small, something that wouldn't have mattered 6 months ago. You brought it up carefully, not accusatory, just honest, and she turned it around on you. Suddenly you're the problem. You're insecure. You're controlling. You have trust issues. You need therapy. And because you're a reasonable man who doesn't want to be that guy, you backed down. You apologized. You told yourself maybe she's right. Maybe it is in your head. Here's what nobody tells you. Your instincts in a relationship are almost always right. The only question is whether you're brave enough to trust them. Every time you brought something real to the table, you walked away feeling smaller. Every time you were honest about what you felt, you ended up defending yourself instead of being heard. After enough of those conversations, most men stop bringing things up altogether. They go quiet. They manage themselves. They decide it's easier to say nothing. And she interprets that silence as everything being fine. I want you to think about the last time you said something real to her, something honest, something that cost you a little. And she made you feel good about saying it, made you feel heard, responded with something that showed she was actually thinking about your perspective. If you're struggling to remember a moment like that, that's the answer. A relationship where one person consistently feels crazy for being perceptive is not a rough patch. It's a dynamic. And dynamics don't fix themselves with better communication. They fix themselves when one person decides they're done accepting them. You're not anxious, you're paying attention. The third situation is the hardest to talk about because there's nothing to point to. No event, no conversation that went wrong, just a feeling. You don't sleep as well as you used to. You check your phone more than you should. There's a low hum of unease that follows you around. At work, at the gym, in the middle of conversations with other people. You catch yourself calculating, running things back, looking for something you can't quite name. And you tell yourself it's anxiety, trust issues, something you need to work on. But here's what I've seen again and again. The men in genuinely good relationships don't feel this way. Not because they're more confident, but because there's nothing in the relationship giving them a reason to. The relationship is clean, transparent. There's no murk. When the murk is there, you feel it. That feeling is not a character flaw. It's information. Your nervous system is processing something your conscious mind hasn't caught up to yet. Don't pathologize your own perception. And then add the friction on top of that. The grievances that never fully resolve. The way you're always one wrong word away from something. The criticism that doesn't feel like it's coming from someone on your team. It feels like someone keeping score. You manage her moods. You manage the temperature of the room. You're always slightly on edge in the one place you're supposed to rest. Ask yourself this and answer honestly. When did you last feel completely like yourself around her? Not happy, not in love, just yourself. Relaxed, not performing, not careful. If you have to think hard about that answer, that is the answer. 3 situations. Betrayal that's visible before anything physical happens. A woman who makes you feel like your own perception is the problem. And a relationship that's quietly taking more from you than it gives. I'm not going to tell you what to do, but I'll tell you what I believe and what I've seen. Men almost never leave too early. They almost always leave too late. By the time most men finally make the decision, they've spent months, sometimes years, trying to talk their way into a solution that was never coming. Waiting for the version of her from the beginning to come back. She's not coming back. That version existed in a specific context. That context is gone. Here's what took me a long time to understand. How someone treats you is not random. It's a direct response to what you've shown them you'll accept. Not what you've said, not what you've threatened, what you've quietly accepted over and over without making it an issue. You built this dynamic as much as she did. That's not blame. That's just how relationships work. And it means you have more power here than you think. Not power to fix her, power to decide what you're willing to live with going forward. The men I respect most aren't the ones who never got hurt. They're the ones who got honest with themselves about what they felt, what they needed, and what they were worth. And they stopped negotiating that. You already know what you know. You've known for a while. The only question is what you're going to do with that. Take care of yourselves.